Okie dokie, what's up my dudes? How's it going everybody? If you're watching the video and you're not subscribed, just push the button for me. And go ahead and follow me on Instagram because you will be up to date on all the channel news, giveaways, live events, all that kind of thing. Thank you very much. Today we are reviewing the Demko AD20.5. Now I did a review on this a while back when I had first started my YouTube channel. But I figured I would do it again because I feel a lot more comfortable and able to accurately express my views and opinions about the knife. You know, since I've made quite a few videos now, I feel much more able to, I'm a better reviewer now, and I felt like I would do it again because I would do a better job. So, it's the Demko AD20.5. Quickly, a little bit of history on the knife. It's made by Andrew Demko. He is classically a custom knife maker. So he made a knife called the Demko AD20. And they were bigger than this. They were made with much more premium materials, and they were handmade. And they went for a lot of money. I watched videos of people handling their AD20s, and boy, I don't think I ever wanted a knife as much as I wanted one of those. I mean, I wanted it so bad, but I couldn't afford it. So I was very excited when they came out with the AD20.5. Like I said, smaller, less premium materials, but you're still getting the all-important shark lock. And you're getting just the whole general aesthetic of a Demko knife, which I really love. The shark lock is this lock here. It is patented and created by Andrew Demko, and it's just a really fantastic lock. It's very strong. It's very fidgety, very easy to use, completely ambidextrous. Makes a very cool sound. I mean, how can you not want one of these when you watch that? I mean, it's just crazy, man. I love clicky clacky metal sounds. Like, that is just the sound of my freaking soul, man. Love it. So, that's the AD20.5. This knife goes for 150 bucks now. In fact, it is on sale right now at Knife Center for 125. So, if you've been waiting for a good price on this guy, go over to Knife Center and check it out. I'll put a link down below. So let's do some specs. Overall length, we are looking at 7 5/8. We're looking at a blade length of 3 1/8 and a closed length of 4 1/2 inches. The blade thickness is 0.125 inches. The blade material is D2. The weight is 3.53 ounces. So, this version of the knife, there's a couple different ones. This is the Knife Center version in D2. I believe they first came out, they were in, AUS-10, which is pretty comparable to D2, but I chose the D2 just because I'm more familiar with it. I know how it sharpens. I have a lot of knives in D2, and it's a fine steel. Now you might be thinking 150 bucks for D2. That's crazy. I know that's been said a million times, but I didn't have a problem paying 150 bucks for this thing because you're paying for the shark lock. You're paying for all the milling and machining that goes into creating the parts in here. And you're paying for the Demko aesthetic. You're paying for the whole, the general design of the knife. And for me, I wanted it so bad that, sure, take my money. There is a stainless steel liner inside. It's milled out a little bit. We have 3 standoffs here. We have not a deep carry pocket clip, but it is very low profile. So when you're gripping this thing, you do not feel it at all. Flat ground drop point blade. There's a slot for opening, there's thumb studs for opening, and there's a couple of different ways you can open it too. Let's go over those real quick. So you have the thumb studs. You can also reverse flick from the thumb stud. We have the slot that you can thumb flick from or reverse flick from. And you can just pull down on the shark lock and just fling the knife open like this. This is how I usually open the knife, that or the reverse flick, but they all work very well. And surprisingly well, because this knife does not have a classic detent. So basically how the shark lock works is there is a spring in here that is providing tension on this bar here, and it's got a little hook deal that in the open position it falls into a slot in the tang. To unlock the knife, you pull back, that comes out of the tang, and the blade is able to swing freely shut. And what acts as the detent is basically just the pressure of that spring pushing up on this piece, and the tang has a little like bump in it that it has to get past in order for it to open. So that's what provides the resistance that keeps the blade closed. But it doesn't hold it closed super tightly, because you can do this. You know, if you want to, you can shake open the knife that way, which I kind of like it actually. It's kind of a nice little option. So, I mean, this knife is just, you know, the shark lock is just incredible. Like I said, ambidextrous, just extremely easy to use. Definitely the most easy locking mechanism on the, you know, the spine of a knife that I've tried. You know, there's a couple of different versions of different locks that are back here. This is definitely the easiest of those. Just very, very easy to open and close. And it's a very extremely strong lock too. I believe it outperformed almost all other locking mechanisms besides Cold Steel's Atlas lock. I believe outperformed the shark lock, I believe. But if you want to know more about that, there's plenty of videos on it. Ergonomically, this thing is perfectly fine. There's no hot spots, but it is a pretty thin profile, so it doesn't really fill out your hand like you know, like some other knives would. But there's definitely no hot spots. This thing is, you know, fairly comfortable to grab onto. There's a nice choke up position here, and your thumb falls right on that jimping. So up here, I feel really locked in, and back here, perfectly locked in. There's a little kind of a hump back here to prevent you from slipping off this way. So that's nice. Now you might be thinking, does the shark lock kind of get in the way ergonomically? And the answer is no, not for my hands. In the choked up position, I am not touching it. I'm in front of it. And back here, I'm still in front of it. If I'm putting my thumb up here, if I'm not, then it's just right in front of my grip. So no, it does not poke you. There's no possibility of you accidentally disengaging it. To disengage, you are not only pulling down, but you're also pulling out, kind of. So there's really no way for that to happen as you're gripping the knife. It's just not possible. There's really nice fine jimping all the way around this lock here. There's really fine jimping on the top and then also on the back here, so there's no problem kind of pulling it out. That jimping grabs your finger and it makes it very, very easy to not slip off. Really, really nice. The shark lock it's just fantastic. There's really no other way to explain it. Let's talk about this stonewashing, because this is my all-time favorite stonewashing I have ever seen on a knife, period. Look at that. It is very different than most stonewashing finishes that you will see. It's more cloudy. It makes me think of oatmeal for some reason. But, I mean, look at that. It's so nice. Let's look at that compared to some typical stonewashing. Let's see what I got here. What do I have that's stonewashed? Gosh. Okay, on the bug out. There, you can tell the difference. It's almost like the individual little, parts where the rocks or whatever medium they used hit the blade are bigger. Maybe they used bigger chunks of whatever they used in the tumbler, maybe? I'm not sure. I wish I knew how they got that, because I would love to replicate it. But it's really, really nice. I just really freaking love it. I love the whole aesthetic of the knife, period. Now, this knife does come in a sheep's foot version, which Demko calls the shark's foot. And in retrospect, I probably should have gotten that version. As I carry more knives, I am realizing that a sheep's foot is really, for me, the best possible blade shape for my EDC. So, if anyone wants to switch blades with me, let me know. I would gladly trade you this blade for a shark's foot blade. That would be sweet. Let's do some size comparisons. I should have done it earlier, but let's do them real quick here. How about the Spyderco PM2? Smaller than that. How about another big one, the Civivi Praxis? Smaller than those. How about some Benchmades? We got the Bug Out. Pretty relative in size to the Bug Out, a little bit longer. And the Griptilian, smaller than the Griptilian. And then let's do the Civivi Altus and the Rat Model 2. There you go. So it's a very solid medium-sized knife. Overall, I will never ever sell this thing. Like I said, I would trade blades with somebody for a shark's foot version, but this knife is just really, really fantastic. I just love it so much, and I wanted one so bad for so long, and now that I finally have one, I just cannot let it go. There's no way. One thing I forgot to mention, these scales are from a company called OG Goat, and they are aluminum. They also sell titanium versions, but I believe aluminum is the only ones that you can get this milling pattern on, and I really love this milling pattern. It's called the Tesseract. I'll put a link for them down below, or I'll put a link to OG Goat so you can go check out all of them out. Another cool thing is OG Goat actually sells these same scales but thicker, and they actually cover these 3 pins here. So that's kind of cool. There's this pin here is for the stop pin, and then these 2 are to hold this locking mechanism in place. So that's cool. You kind of, if you want to get the thicker ones, it might fill out your hand better, and you also get rid of these pins here. Personally, I don't mind them. It would be kind of cool to have a thicker handle to help with ergonomics, but it's really not that big a deal to me. They also carry well, no, OG Goat doesn't, but I believe Lynch Northwest or MXG carries deep carry pocket clips for this guy too, so you can do that if you want. The main downside with this knife is the pocket clip. In fact, I wear Carhartts most of the time, and the seams on these guys are too thick for this knife. You can see that it doesn't want to slide on there. I kind of have to lift up to get it over the hump to put it in there. So that is the downside. I probably will get a deep carry clip eventually. I mean, if that changes, if the new clip changes the distance between the clip and the scale here, I just need a wider space there for it to be able to go over the seam. So I'll have to do a little research and see if Lynch Northwest maybe has a different style clip that's better for larger seams, maybe. I don't know. But that's my really only complaint about the knife is the pocket clip. I can't slide it into my Carhartts very well. But if you're just wearing regular jeans or something else, you might just be totally fine. That's about it. That's the Demko AD20.5. They're on sale right now at Knife Center for $125. So if you've been waiting for a good price on one, I'll put a link for that below so you can go grab it. I really, really recommend it if you can afford it. It's just a really fantastic knife, and one of the best. Period. That's it. Thanks for watching, y'all. Adios.